Okay, the floor is yours. I wish you, Mr. Sutandi, to lead this discussion.
Okay, guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today, our topic tonight is about refilling the curtain, the significance of destiny and fate. Before we start our discussions, I wanna say that happy Eid Mubarak for everyone, especially for Muslims. And then, without any further ado, we directly start this meeting. Cool. Okay, guys. Wait, I want to share screen first. Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, guys. Okay, without any further ado, let's start this program by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, for our topic tonight is about refilling the curtain, the significance of destiny and fate. I believe that most of you have read maybe some books, or maybe you have read on the websites, in the Google, or maybe in the Holy Book. It explains about the destiny and fate. And today we are going to discuss about this because most of people are still confused about this matter. So we directly go to another slide. Okay, for the first question, what is destiny? What is your opinion about destiny? I please for you all to raise your hand if you are ready. If you already have the answer, I please you to raise your hand to deliver your answer. Does anyone raise your hand? I have read some books that destiny is about something that the God the God give to us. The God give to us, especially about provisions, measurements, and certainty that we cannot change. We cannot change. And I'm really curious about your perspective, your answer about these questions. So I please you, maybe do you have to deliver your answer here, Mr. Mr. Febri, Miss Rasli, Miss Opa, Miss Gusti. Okay, for the first participant, I please you to Mr. Febri. Hello, Mr. Febri. Febri, are you there? Hello, hello, Mr. Febri. Are you there?
Audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, but you little bit have bad connection. We hear your voice unclearly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the chance, Mr. Sunday. I'm not sure about my definition of destiny, but
I'm sorry, Miss
But-
Rasli. Ms. Rasli, can you unmute your microphone? Okay, please continue, Mr. Febri.
Yeah. But I guess destiny is all about uh, what do we call the place or maybe the purpose that we want to achieve or we want to obtain. It can be short term or it can be a long term destiny. Uh, yeah, that's all I guess for the definition of that destiny. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Febri. Okay, for the next for the next speaker, for the next participant, I place you to Mr. Sansan.
Okay, can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear that.
I'd like to disagree with the previous statement coming from Mr. February, saying that destiny is like a long-term, short-term, middle-term target. I guess it's different, and we need to know how to distinguish between destiny and destination. Okay, so destination might change over time, over goals, over priorities, but destiny is somehow unchangeable, irreplaceable. I mean, like it becomes more certain. I mean, like there is no significant difference between destiny and fates, and somehow it is always being portrayed as something transcendental, something beyond the power or the controls of human. So yeah, sometimes we say in some movies we watch, like, you are my destiny. I mean, like that's the way how we flourish our words, okay, in romance sense. Okay, yeah. So I just like to give a short comment to the previous speaker. Probably anyone would like to give further explanations or disagreement with mine. At the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sansan. For anyone, maybe do you agree with Mr. Sansan's answer, or maybe you disagree? You can deliver your answer right now. I please you. Please raise your hand. Okay, for the next, Miss Gusti, I please you.
Thank you for the time. Am I audible to be heard?
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Gusti, Miss Gusti.
Thank you so much for the time. I'm actually opening with this one dictionary, my Longman dictionary. So I had on the destiny word and the fate word. Then I probably agree with the previous speaker, Mr. Sunshine, said that destiny, between the destiny and fate, it's kind of like almost the same thing, that it's the things outside human control. Okay, so like beyond human control. Probably I could give you the example, like we couldn't choose our parents, and we couldn't choose our future, probably son or daughter. It's kind of like destiny. Okay, that's the things that I can say, probably. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sui. I do agree with you. I do agree with Miss Gusti and Mr. Sunshine. And Miss Gusti has already given the example of destiny. So anyone, do you want to answer these questions? What is destiny? For anyone? For anyone, do you want to answer these questions? I please you. Okay, if there is no participant to answer these questions, I will move to another slide. So we are going to define destiny is. So destiny is this is referring to Oxford Dictionary. Destiny is what happens. Wait, what happens to somebody or what will happen to them in the future, especially things that they are not able to change or avoid. That refers to Oxford Dictionary. So we move to another slide. There is the matter, guys. If someone was born, with sore in the form of physical disabilities, what do you think about this? Is it injustice from God or vice versa? What do you think about this one? I please you to anyone to answer this question. Hello guys, for Mr. Nurom, Miss Ofa, Miss Sophie, Mr. Ahmad, Fatullah, and Mr. Zulfikar. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, I please you.
Vice versa, probably it can be considered justice. Okay, despite being given such unfair quality of body parts, we say that it is fair. Okay, just like to give response to Ms. Christie right away. Okay. Um. Yeah. Thank God, I've been born with full parts of bodies. Yes, vice versa is kebalikan. On the contrary. Okay. Um, injustice can be felt easily when our expectation betrays the reality, or vice versa. Okay, when we couldn't get what we demand, what we want it to come true. Injustice can be considered as something relative, because when someone considered something justice, just or fair, somebody other would like to differ in that regard. So I suppose, since I have been born with a complete parts of body, I could say that that is not injustice. Okay, but for those who suffer the most, probably it takes time for them to figure out the meaning of justice that is concealed behind the incomplete versions of body they have. Okay. So everyone has their own insecurities, whether it is related to the physical or non-physical belongings. Okay, that's what the opening is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. That was George's for. Okay, for the next guys, maybe do you want to answer this question, or maybe you disagree with Mr. Sunshine? I please you to deliver your answer right now. For anyone, Mr. Nurom, Miss Sophie, Mr. Andres, Mr. Zulfikar, Mr. Rizul, I please you to deliver your answer, or maybe you disagree with Mr. Sunshine. Could I choose randomly, Mr. Ku? Oh yeah, there is one, Mr. Andres. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
well,
Andres.
thank you. Yes, well, thank you for this opportunity since the day is the day for practicing speaking in English. So I'm encouraging myself for speaking here. Talking about justice, it's gonna be an intriguing topic, I suppose, because justice has a wide, um, what seems like the perspective towards seeing the morality about the ethics uh, towards something. Since justice is the broadened concept, which talking about the equity, it is talking about the religion, about the law and the fairness. So when we want to answer this kind of question, um, firstly we need to give seems like whining one side, will we discuss it in the equity terms or in the fairness terms or in the destiny terms? When we are talking about the equity, maybe I believe that not maybe I believe that it is not equal, because the destiny of everyone is different. Seems like your destiny to be a husband and my wife being a wife house. So those all are different. So it is not being the equity in the view of the justice, because everyone has their own role. They have their own way of life, including their physical appearance and including the existency of one of their part of body. Seems like they don't have eye, or maybe they don't have one hand, or I don't know, or maybe the genetical disruption, uh, since they gain the evolution when their mother in the pregnant situation, and they find the malnutrition. So it is not controllable, and the justice in the terms of the equity could not be accepted, because they face the inequality in it. But when we see, because it is the decision of the God, and no one of us are God. So it's up to him for making us whatever he want, including we don't have a hand, we don't have a knee, maybe a foot, because we cannot control God. We are not God. So it's up to him. So something that we will see in the justice in this kind of the perspective, we're talking that we are just accepting our condition without any what seems like without any without any objection, because when we objected, so we will struggle, we will encourage ourselves to active more than the others, and it's gonna be one of the what maybe the positivity that we gain from the start of our life, because we have faced the more struggle. So we will have the more experience rather than the other people, because we are special. We don't have a hand, or they not we they don't have a hand, or they don't have a knee since they are born. So because of that strugglity that's more than the others, something that they don't have it since they begin their life. So they will gain the experience more than the others, and it's gonna be lead to the justice of the view of the fairness, because everything that we face has the positivity and the negativity. So based on it, um, because having the part of body is the decision of the God, and we cannot control the decision of God. So yeah, the fairness based on this concept will be accepted, that the it is justiciable for gaining a community, or maybe a few of people that don't have a part of body, or maybe not only body anyway, about the psychology since they are born. You know, the Down syndrome, they don't have well IQ. So they will live idiot long lasting till the end of their life. So it is gonna be included to them too. So yeah, it is us as a human, not God. So it is the decision of God. So is it justice or not? Which one will I will see more is based on the fairness, because by having it and accepting it, we will gain the positivity and the negativity, and it's going to be dependent on us how to make it what how to optimize it to make our life better till the end of our life. Maybe we can make a change to the world even we don't have a well uh, ability since our born. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Andres. Your answer is really complete. Yeah. Okay, for Mr. Andres, I really curious about your another example. Last time you say or you tell us about the example, but physical. Maybe do you have another example of destiny, Mr. Andres?
Yeah. Maybe the other disabilities are we are talking about will be lead by the syndromes or maybe the psychological disability. Maybe when you born you are crazy, so you maybe when we see that kind of the perspective, oh, how poor am I if I am born as a Down syndrome children, a child. I cannot think normally. But the positive is you don't need to think about this world, because world is fulfilled with many pressure. So why do we need to think it? Yeah, it's gonna be one of the advantage. Even we see it more, maybe the disadvantage, because we don't have liberty for thinking, because we are idiots since born, because we find the Down syndrome. That is one of the psychological disabilities. It is cannot be cured, I suppose, because uh, it is disruption in your gene. I mean, like one of their genetical what in your chromosome are one of them is deleted. I don't know, because it's so random. So hopefully our my child especially do not find it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andres. I think for this matter, Mr. Andres has delivered his answer completely. So we directly move to another slide. So guys, if you want to answer the questions, I please you for prepare for yourself for another slide. Okay, for another slide is there is the example. There are the examples of destiny. It start from the birth of human being, getting getting gender in human life, the disease of the quick or living things, and the last one is the day alternation. Okay, now we move to another slide. Okay, guys, I have a question. I have a statement, and I wish you to answer about this statement. As we know, in this era, some people become a part of LGBT, and they try to change their gender. From this case, what is your perspective? Do they change the destiny? What do you think about this? Or another participant who haven't answered, I please you. For Mr. Izul, Miss Sophie, Mr. Nuro, Mr. Miss what how to say your name? Miss Wada. Okay, guys, does anyone want to answer this question? Miss Rasni, Miss Wada. Okay, for our host tonight, Mr. Ku, I please you.
Right. Thanks for the chance given. Okay, Mr. Sachan finally raises his hand. Yeah, as we know that this era, some people become a part of LGBT and they try to change the gender. I believe that it depends on what their purpose to change their destiny, because um, in this era there are many people try to find or try to earn money to survive. Moreover, midst of pandemic, some people are quite uneasy to earn money or find a job, something like that, but they try to change the God creator, the called destiny, something like that. For instance, it's popular in Indonesia, Lucinta Luna, and then one of the actress or model in Thailand. She was a winner in Miss Universe. I don't know, it's international event, I guess, but she's viral, or she's famous in Thailand because she thinks he thinks his gender to be woman. But I guess it depends on what is their decision is, what the decision is to change their destiny. Even in some of religious beliefs, we may not change their destiny as physical appearance, but it depends on the destiny, and also it depends on the purpose itself. But it's when we attempt to earn money, I guess it doesn't matter because you do it by yourself to survive in this case, or in this in this era, in this modern era. But from the gut, I don't know, because in some religious beliefs, we mustn't, or we may not do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kodari. You have told the answer. Told your answer, and I believe that it's really confusing when we try to solve this problem. Okay, for the next speaker, I place to Mr. Sansai.
I suppose that let's come back to the previous definitions of destiny, something that we cannot control, right? Okay, means that if we can still change our parts of the body, we can still have control toward it, right? Means that it is not a destiny. Means that they do not change their destiny because they still have control upon it, right? Okay, so I'd like to highlight that the definitions of destiny is something uncontrollable. Means that, yeah, we need to have a definitions in our life. What particular things that we couldn't control? Okay. Okay. Okay, so there is that. But above all, I'd like to say that I support the idea of bodily autonomous right. Means that you'd one will have your own body, and you'd one will have freedom to change, to add, to modify, to decrease, to add any other parts of your body, because you'd one will bear the consequences and risk. Okay, so change your body is not my body. Okay, it doesn't harm me. It doesn't harm people. Okay, you do that for your own satisfaction, to gain your freedom, to materialize your satisfaction. I appreciate that. I respect that. As long as it doesn't change or it doesn't create a negative perspective. I mean, like, negative perspective can be easily emerge, yeah, due to the mindsets of all people that keep criticizing, keep judging. So it's inevitable to have everyone judging on our appearance, regardless of the bad or good image we have at the end of the day. So I'd say that I support this idea as long as it doesn't harm any other people and they do not change their destiny. Probably changing their gender includes in the destiny itself. Okay, that's me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Your answer is really interesting. Okay, guys, for the next speaker, I place to Mr. Andres.
Yes, well, thank you. The first is it's gonna be harder if we want to change the sex. Before we are talking about the gender, we need to know about the differentiation between the sex and the gender. But hopefully, the whole of you know about it. Not know. Maybe I'm stupid in it too. Anyway, uh, one why we it is gonna be hard we are changing our sex is based on our born situation. The male, they have XY chromosome in the whole of the cell that establish of their body, and the web and the female having the XY chromosome, which mean not XY but double X chromosome in the whole of the cells that establishing their body. So if we want to change the whole fully uh, our body for being a new sex, so the whole of cell that establish our body need to be changed too, and it is quite hard, I suppose. And then about the changing the gender, maybe seems like some of the people, they want to give the additional part of body from from the opposite gender. Maybe the male want to have the female part of body, seems like the boobs or maybe the ass that they do not have. Maybe their testes will be cut, such as that. So there will be a new gender. So the question is it change the destiny of them? Well, it is such a hilarious because we try to distract. I mean, the one topic to the other topic. But in my opinion, destiny is not only about the condition that we are born or maybe initially exist in this world, but it's gonna be talk about the progress of it too. Because I believe that every destiny that will face by me is being known by God. I mean, like 360 degree of the life that will influence me is known by God. And I believe that everything that I will choose, even that will not be chosen by me in the real life, is known by God too. So everything has been known as the destiny. So it is not change the destiny because it's gonna be included in the destiny that be known by the God too. It is my perspective because it's one of my beliefness, and maybe a few of you are not quite accepting my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andres. Your answer is the same, like is equal, like Mr. Sanson answer. Yeah, more or less, yeah. Okay, for the next, Miss Gusti, I bless you.
Thank you for your time. I probably put my, agreements to the previous speaker. Like we have to take it back the words into the definitions of destiny. Like probably have discussed before that that's definition of the destiny is like the beyond human power. Even you got like change your gender by the appearance, you probably thought is the like you change your gender, but by the destiny itself, like the chromosomes, like something like that, the biological, it's really your destiny from God. You know what I mean. Like if you want to change your body, if you just change it, you're not change at all into the specific like hormone or something like that. Even you can what is that infuse the hormone into your body. It doesn't mean you can change at all. So I supposed the transgender who really pretends their self into transgender and really women probably or really men, but they are still in process, like their destiny is still what they have given from God, like the gender, but they are still in process. I ever watch a YouTube video that several transgender back to their own destiny. Like, yeah, like they still in process. I mean, like, if the transgender judge themselves as like already changed their destiny or already changed their gender, I suppose they are still in process to have the real destiny, but it's not like change at all for the things that they really wanna have. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Miss Gusti. Maybe your answer. This is my conclusion. Yeah. Maybe your answer. This is they cannot change the destiny. Actually, God have given this one, have given their gender for everyone, but as a human foliation, they can change that. But for for mine, like the originally, they cannot change. But as as humans foliations, they can change. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Christy. Last time I see Miss Rasni and Mr. Izul, raise your hand. Maybe do you want to answer this question? Miss Rasni, Mr. Izul?
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Miss Rasni, I bless you.
okay, thank you for the time. So, talking about LGBT, what's about my perspective? Before that, I think talking about LGBT is very interesting, yeah, because in Indonesia there are many people show about LGBT and not about like it's not about like apa rahasia begitu, not like that. It's not like secret, but I saw some videos on YouTube, like in Daddy Contribution podcast, that are LGBT couples. It's very famous in Indonesia too. I think I get a point, like LGBT. I think LGBT it's not about destiny, just about perspective, just about choice of life, and just about like environment. And I think like maybe there are wrong parenting from parents. So if what like do they change the destiny? It's not change the destiny. Just people want to be LGBT to like people want to choose like that. For me, like that. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Rasni. Miss Rasni, I have a question. When you I curious about the name of the maybe the celebrity or someone. Yeah, you watch in Telecovisher podcast? What is the name? What is her name or his name?
Oh my, Regil,
Ah, Ragil. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
they
Yeah.
like they have apa, a couple from German like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Okay,
Okay,
thank
thank
you. Okay, thank you, Miss Rasni. Okay, for Mr. Izul, last time you raise your hand. Maybe do you want to answer this question,
He's not
Mr.
here.
Izul?
He's not here.
Oh my, oh my God. Okay, guys, we move to another slide. Still buffer. Okay, for the next is what is faith? In previous slide, we talk about destiny. So on this slide, we are going to define or like give the significance of faith. So on this slide, I place you to give your own opinion, your own answer about what is faith. Maybe maybe in destiny is about positive. Maybe in faith is about negative thing that God has given to the queen, the living things. Okay, I please to everyone who wants to answer this question. For Mr. Imam, I'm sorry, Mr. Imam, who haven't answered, who hasn't answered, Mr. Izul, Miss Dania, Miss Sunflower. How can I tell you? How can I call you? So anyone, do you want to answer this one? Mr. Izul, Miss Dania, Miss or Mr. Sunflower. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, I please you.
It's a little bit close meaning if we compare between fate and destiny. Okay, to make it more simple, I'd like to translate based on my own capability in English. So if destiny is like takdir, fate it means nasib. Okay, so okay, it's a little bit similar, but it doesn't come to be equal. Okay, so the difference is like fate more into the line of how the line supposed to be. Okay, whether we're going to luck or lucky or unlucky, we're going to be rich or poor, we're going to be smart or dumb. Okay, so it's more about the adjectives of our life. Okay, more than physical. It's characterizing the imaginary characters, attitudes that every human being supposed to have. Okay, so yeah, I think that's how I underline the meaning of fate.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. So you tell that you tell that fate is about activity, yeah, activity of human life. So for
Not
anyone,
about the activity, but the adjectives, the characteristic. Okay.
oh yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Not the activity. Yeah,
yeah.
it's more about, yeah, it's like lucky and unlucky, weak, strong, rich or poor, smart or dumb.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. So anyone, do you want maybe do you have another answer, or you wanna give additional answer to Mr. Sunshine, or for anyone? I please you guys to answer this question. Mr. Imam Arifuddin, Miss Dania, Miss or Mr. Sunflower, Miss Wada. There is no participant who wants to answer this question. Okay, Mr. Andres, I please.
Yes, well, thank you. The distinguish between fate and destiny, I suppose that laid on the time that we are talking about the prediction. First, destiny talking about the whole. I mean, like from the past, recent, and the future. Since sometimes destiny could be controlled, and sometimes it is not controllable. But when it is not controllable, because it is it has been done, but in the recent time. So we are maybe seems like when we want to plan something, but we have decided something in the past and it affect the condition today. it's gonna be a fate, because we cannot do anything to it. It is final. Sometimes it is positive, and maybe mostly it is negative, such as defeat or death of our decision in the past. So that is fate that I suppose. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andres. Okay, guys, maybe anyone, maybe do you
Hello.
want to do this question?
Check.
Hello, yeah, Mr. Rizul.
Halo. Yeah,
Okay,
how are you,
Rizul.
Mr. Dandi?
Alhamdulillah, I'm feeling good like a suit.
Nice. All right. Thanks for the chance given. About the faith. What is the faith? Yeah. I think there are two kind of faith that we have as a human being. The first faith is the faith from God. Yeah, it's like destiny. So the faith from God, that is the faith that we cannot change in our life, like our physical disability or something like that. We cannot change it. That is the faith from our God. But there is also the faith that we can change as a human being, like our religion. Yeah, if we born as a Muslim or as a non-Muslim, maybe if we want to learn more about another religion, we can change it. Yeah, we can change it. We can from our knowledge, we can change our faith to be better, like our work, our future, or maybe if we need to change something from our faith, we can do that. So there is two kind of faith that I believe in my life. That is my opinion, Mr. Dandi. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rizul. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, for maybe anyone, do you want to answer these questions? I please do. If there is no participants or speakers, a speaker that wants to answer, I move to another slide. Okay, this is the significance of faith itself. What is faith? Faith is, this is referring to Cambridge Dictionary. That is what happens to a particular person or thing, especially something final or negative, such as death or defeat. Okay, for another slide. Okay, in this slide, on this slide, I have a matter, and I please anyone to answer this reason. For the matter is, do you agree or disagree? If beauty is a fate, could you tell us the reason of it? Do you agree or disagree? If beauty is a fate, could you tell us the reason of it? Anyone? I believe that this matter actually for the woman or Miss Rasti, Miss Gusti, Miss Sophie, Miss Wada, Miss Dania, Miss or Mr. Sunflower. Maybe do you have your answer about this one? Because you are woman, and woman is identically with beauty. So for anyone, maybe for the main, yeah, at least if you have the answer, at least if you tell us about it. Do you agree or disagree? Okay, for the first speaker, Miss Dania, I please you.
I'm sorry, I'm with my friends. Yeah, it's actually depends on the definition of faith that you are believe. As like the previous speaker said before, there's only two kind of faith. The first one is faith that you cannot change. It's come from God. And the other one is faith that uh, that you can that that will happen also by your choices. So I think beauty is not a faith, or it's kind of faith that in Muslim we call it mu'alak qadar. Yeah, that a faith that also depends to human choice. So beauty is your choice, not like you can you can you can bring your own definition of beauty. So yeah. Do you know what I mean for?
Okay, thank you very much for Miss Dania. I'm sorry, but for your answer, I'm still confused. I haven't get any point from your from your uh, from your answer. Maybe anyone wants to give additional answer for Mr. Dania, or maybe you want to like give more detail about this. Okay, for the next speaker, I please to Mr. Zulfikar.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dandi. Okay, if we are talking about beauty, we have to synchronize our perspective first. What beauty is? What is beauty? If we are talking about beauty of body, human body, so I disagree. I disagree about this statement. Beauty is a fate. Because we know that beauty as body or face. If we look at the someone face, she is beautiful or he is handsome. I think it is relative. You know, I think it is a relative. So if we everyone has their way, has their what is that? Has their as their apa namanya ya, kemauan gitu ya kan.
Desire.
So yeah, so we also can change our body. If we are thin, we can go to the gym for change our body, so our body looks like more attractive. If our face is not really well, we can use the skincare. I think that is can change our what is that, our body, our beauty of the body. But there's also the beauty of attitude. Yeah, so it is I disagree if the attitude is a fate. Yeah, because the attitude, we have to build our attitude, we have to make our attitude better every day. So we need more knowledge to change our attitude, to make our self beauty than before. So I think I disagree about this statement. If you say that beauty is a fate, that is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Zulfikar. You totally disagree with this statement that beauty is a fate. Okay, for another speaker, I'm curious with your answer. For the next is Mr. Andres. Thank you very much for Mr. Rizal.
Well, thank you. It's gonna be dependent on the situation that we are facing. In the condition that our mitochondria still working, I mean, like we are still alive, we cannot do anything normally, and our neurons still serving the impulse from the outside to to our brain and vice versa. So we can change our beauty, the ability for changing it. So it's gonna be a destiny, not a fate. So I disagree in this condition. But when we are dying, our mitochondria will be dead, and our neuron cannot be work normally. Maybe we find a tumor or how many kinds of the disease coming to us. So in this condition, it's gonna be a fate of our final beauty. So it's gonna be dependent on the situation that we are facing. It's gonna be dependent on the time that we are talking about it. So in this term, I am half agree and disagree. So those are all are my reasons. Thank you.
Okay, for Mr. Andres, you have two choices, yeah. For uh, you agree or disagree? It depends on the conditions. Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Andres. For the next is now we are going to women team. I please to Miss Gusti.
Thank you for the time. Okay, so when I read the questions is about beauty. I suppose that beauty is kind of the things like everyone can see and everyone can change. Like the first speaker said, it is all about the perspective of body or face or attitude or so on. And by looking the fate, like the definitions, fate is kind of the thing, the power that some people believe cause and control. Um, so that like you cannot change or control the way things will happen. So if the we connect um if we connect it to the definitions, I suppose the beauty itself is not kind of a fate. It's so I totally disagree with the kind of things that beauty is a fate, because whenever as long as we can breathe, we can, if we as a like as a woman, we can do everything. Like we can probably, if you have a stigma in your face or something like that, or your body, you could probably, if you have a lot of money, you decide to go to plastic surgery, probably you can grab your beauty faster. So about the attitude, like as the speakers first speaker said, we can build it, the attitude itself, because like attitude is not fate. So as long as we can we are living in this world, and we can improve ourselves better than before, so we can build the good attitude. So for me, it's that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gusti. Your answer is really amazing. Okay, for the next is Miss Rasni. I please you.
Okay, thank you. So talking about beauty, I think beauty is destiny because God's creation and always creates humans with very beautiful shapes. And I think beautiful is relative, like um, so that people cannot just other people are not beautiful. All humans, all people have beautiful enough from their self. So I think thank you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rasni. Okay, for the next is Mr. Sunshine.
Probably the questions need to be corrected a little bit in that part of if beauty is a bait. It's supposed to be said if being beauty is a bait. Okay, being beautiful or being not beautiful is a bait. So beauty is like a noun, and it's different, as I told you before. That bait is like the adjectives of everything we have. Okay, so yeah, under the development of how human improve someone's appearance, I suppose that being beautiful or being handsome is changeable. I mean, like we can put some efforts to change our appearance. as long as we care about them and we struggle for that. Okay, so I can say that those people who were born with being beautiful or being handsome, they can be perceived as having weight. Okay, but those people who were born differently with a normal face, like mine, maybe. I'm not that really confident to say that I'm handsome, nor that ugly. I'm just in the middle, I suppose. I'm like, I don't want to sound so serious from the very beginning till the end. Let me show you. Yeah, so I'm like, we can still, even though we're not that really handsome or beautiful, or we considered ugly for some people, it doesn't matter because we can use skincare, we can use something, we can use Botox or doing facial, do some exfoliating, rebonding, or everything, right? Because what's important is our self-satisfaction, our self-love. Okay, so what we pursue is the destinations of our eagerness. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. Okay, so
Okay.
it can be as a reason, and it can become it will be vice versa as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sunset. Your nice talk, yeah. Okay, for the next, Miss Wada. I think this is the last speaker for this later.
Okay. Thank you for Mr. Sugandi. So do I agree or disagree if beauty is a fate? I think it depends on what kind of beauty it is. If you're talking about the shape of our eyes, nose, mouth, then I agree that it's a fate. That's why actually in my religion, in Islam, it's not allowed to change it unless it's urgent. But we can take care of our body or face better by going to gym, doing skincare, and going to beauty treatment. But if you're talking about another beauty, just like what Mr. Zulfikar, he talked about inner beauty, right? Then I also disagree that it's a fate. Why? Because there might be some people who had bad attitude in the past, but they might change one day. So we cannot judge that it is their fate to be rough, to be naughty, to be bad. Yeah, I think I go 50-50. It's half agree and half disagree. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wada. You have told that you disagree with Mr. Izul, that when we are going to talk about inner beauty. Okay, for the next is Mr. Imam.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
How are you?
Mr. Imam, Alhamdulillah, I'm well today.
Okay, for firstly, talking about beauty, yeah, I think it depends on yourself looking at what kind of beauty. Sometimes we see beauty as morality, yeah, but yeah, not only about human body, yeah, but yeah, such as morality, yeah, but if we look at beauty as what Mr. Izul says, yeah, we can beauty, we can what is that? We can beautify all of that by buying, yeah, makeup, fragrance, perfume, and so on. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm sure I disagree about beauty. About beauty is a fate. Yeah, I think that's all from me. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Imam. Long time no see here. This is the first time I met you again in this Zoom meeting, and thank you very much for your answer. Okay, guys, because I think this is the last speaker. So now we all move to Another slide. Yeah, there are examples, the examples of faith. Yeah, for the first is the economy. It's like trying to get better finance or educations. We are studying knowledge and science. For the government, government's making legal regulations to control the country. And for the socializations, we we are adapting with society and surroundings. Okay, I think this is enough for the example of faith. For the next is, okay, for the next is I have a question for you all. How do you deal with failure? Do you see it as a boon or calamity? How do you deal with failure? Do you believe that failure is one of the example of parts of faith? Maybe do you have your own answer? I please. How do you deal with failure? Do you see it as a boon or a calamity? Or Mr. Sunflower, Miss or Mr. Sunflower? Maybe do you have your own answer? Okay, for the first, Mr. Andres.
Well, I suppose that I believe that failure is part of progress. So when we do something, we will find two kinds of the possibility. The first is success, that we want more and hopefully we will grab it. Secondly is failure. Mostly, or maybe the whole of our progress, many actions that we do will face of those probabilities. So uh, so because of it, failure could be led as one part of the progress signal. So based on this kind of the opinion, I believe that it is both of the boon and calamity too, because by finding a failure, we will gain the experience and make it better in the what following trial. But it's gonna be a boon if we don't have a sufficient what substrate, or maybe how to say um, model, not model, capital, yeah, money, many sources that we need to do this kind of progress in the second chance is quite hard, because maybe the expensiveness of the what not substrate, what substances to do it. So both of boon and calamity are part of the failure. So we will grab it and we need to decide it. So in the end, the way to deal the failure is seeing by the planning in the beginning before we do the action, or maybe before we do the progress. So we will make the possibility of the what the failure could be lesser and make our success enhanced. But as I said before, those both of the possibility need to be calculated in our planning, because what make I mean planning one of the possibility only make us only make the possibility of failure growing up. That is my what opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Andres. Mr. Andres, I have a question for you. Do you mind to answer it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do you believe that failure is a fate?
Failure is a fate. There are a lot of the what factors that making the failure could be emerge, maybe seems like explode in the laboratory, the contamination of our in the laboratory, or maybe in our research, or maybe our money is run out before we finish the research. We cannot finish our research, so we cannot graduate from the from the college. Those all are a few of the examples of the failures. And about is it a fate or not? As I said before, everything is known by God, including what our failure or our success in a certain time. So is it a fate? Because it is done, so it is a fate. We cannot control the past. So it is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Andes. Okay, for the next, Miss Rasni.
Okay, Phyllis, Bon, and Salam. I think like not not all, because I believe failure is a test or exercise from God. If you can pass on life, or you then you will enter the next. You can enter the next section of life. So I think is failure just like about exercise or test from God. I think like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rasni. You said that failure is like exercise or test from God. But I have a question for you. If failure is self, I mean, like, is it made by God or by human failure?
I think like by human, because God give God give human chance to be like untuk berhasil, but back to human, because if you want to exercise, or if you want to like usaha, you can get keberhasilan like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you, Miss Rasmi. For the next,
Gitu.
I place to Miss Tiffany. Miss Gusti, are you there?
Me or Miss Febri?
Miss Gusti first, and then Miss Febri.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Actually, this question recalling back my memory and when I was high school, when I came to the super competitive environments. So the way I deal with the failure is depends on the environment exactly. When you come up to the super competitive environment, you probably see that failure as a like calamity. I mean calamity. But if you have a supportive environment that really builds you up, you probably see the failure as a boon. Okay, that's kind of the things like the previous speaker said that both the boon and calamity, it's happened in the failure. So it's kind of depends on the person, like face that failure. So for me today, when I'm sitting here in front of the computer, I deal with failure with like probably some kind of boon or some kind of calamity. But if we just like put ourselves into the stress or the calamity, but without move or something like that, we probably couldn't know what the meaning of this failure right? So everybody probably still in process. Everybody has their own failure to make a deal with the dream that they chase for. So afterward, when we gotta move on from that stress of the failure, we have to know that God means. So the important things, the reason why people is different from animal, like people should think about what happened surrounding us. So the way that I deal with the failure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gusti. So whether it can be boon or calumny. Okay, thank you very much for Miss Gusti. Okay, for the next is Miss Every.
Okay, no, I'm a me. I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. All right.
Sorry,
Uh,
Every. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, guys.
okay. When I read these questions, it finally reminds me to an advice of my teachers. Yeah, a couple years ago. He said that there are only four answers of your dua or maybe your struggles. The first one is yes, because it is the right time and the right place for you to grow. That's yes. And the second one may be no. Yes, no, because God knows the better for you. And the third one may be not now. So it means that God wants to see your struggles more. Uh, he wants to he wants you to grow more and elaborate more about your uh, something that something that you want to achieve, things like that. And the last one I forget. Wait, a no, a yes, no, not now. Yeah, only three, I guess. Yeah, I just remember three. So but the most important thing of failure is about what we can take, the lesson of that failure, and then and what action when we or what action we can do for the next journey or for the next what do we call destiny, things like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Every. I'm sorry for calling you Miss last time. Okay, for the next, Mr. Izul.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. I believe that between failure and faith are not relatable. Yeah, are not relatable because I believe that the failure is the way of God to teach us as a human being. So we cannot do something better. We can be something. We can be better, and we can be stronger if we have many kinds of failure in our life. But if we are talking about the faith, I think it is relate between burn and calamity. I think that if we have the great faith in our life, we can say it the burn from God, from our God. Yeah. But if we have a bad faith, we can say that is the calamity of God. So the failure and faith are not relatable in my opinion. All right, thank you so much. We cannot relate it. We cannot connect it.
Okay.
Connect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Izul. Okay, for others, yeah, Mr. Imam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dandi. for
Yeah.
the time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about failure. Yeah. I think success or failure comes from ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. If we are serious about something, we will succeed. Yeah. Have you heard the process never betrays the result? Yeah. But we have tried many times, but we didn't succeed. Yeah. It means we have to be patient. Yeah. Everything will be beautiful. Yeah. Believe in me. Okay. This is my simply opinion. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Imam. Is it simple, but it's really clear. Last time I saw that Mr. Anders, you raised your hand. Maybe you have additional answer for this one, for this
Oh, yeah.
question.
For a question that you mentioned before about is it created by God or not? I believe
Yeah.
that God is success, but failure is the condition of the 0% of success. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Andres. You just give a little bit answer for my question, exactly about failure. Okay, we move to another slide. Another slide. Okay, for the conclusions, our discussion tonight, I have the main question. The main question, so we can know well about this topic or this this topic tonight. We can know well, and we can make it as our reference in our life. Okay, for the question is, what is the difference between destiny and fate? You last time you have given your answer about destiny, and you also give the example of destiny itself. So, and then some of you have given the answer about fate also, and you like disagree when I uh, give like the statement, and you have your own answer. So for these conclusions for our discussion tonight, I want to ask you, what is the difference between destiny and fate? Okay, for Mr. Andres, I please you.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. As I mentioned before, the distinguish between fate and destiny based on the condition. I mean, like based on the condition which the subject could control the action or not. I mean, like this one, destiny is the condition that we believe that it is known by God either before our life, either recent time, and something that will face in the future. But faith only could be spoken if it is be done, because something that is done cannot be changed, cannot be controlled again. So it is a fate, or perhaps any influence that facing us, and it is cannot be controlled by us too. It's gonna be a fate too. That is my definition and my distinguishment. Maybe there are a lot of this objection, but it is okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Andres. I have a question for you, exactly about fate. Do you mentioned that fate is something that we can something that we have done. Is it uh, is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something that we have done. It means that we cannot change like the we cannot change our pastime or what we have done in the past.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Yeah, I have a question for this one. So it means that a week. So it means that especially faith itself, especially for the pastime, it means that we cannot change or we. I mean like this. When we try to get better conditions or you want to make something good in the future, uh, probably we take like a reference from your past or our past, so we can make it or we can make it better for our future. So for the question is something that we have done, and for the past time we cannot change it. I but I believe that we cannot change it, but we can fix it for our for our future. I mean, like for getting better. So maybe you have your own opinion about this one.
Maybe I just want to make it simple. Maybe it seems like we have done a mistake and we want to fix that mistake in the future, right? uh, I suppose that it is a kind of a destiny, but we have done a mistake itself is a fate. I mean, like this one, um, the the time that we do the mistake um, is is the condition we fix the mistake in the future 100% conducted in the future. Do you faith? Do you believe in it or not? 100% conducted or not?
Conducted.
Conducted, yeah. I mean executed. I mean like this. We know we have done a mistake in the past. Maybe yesterday I have done a mistake and I want to make an apology tomorrow, and today I will make a planning for it. But the possibility of dying for tomorrow need to be calculated. It is not a fate because it is in the tomorrow. It is a destiny, one of our intention, and one of the possibility. But the fate of doing it or not cannot be 100% executed. So because of that, fate is something conducted in the past, and we spoken it as one of something known God and cannot be controlled again because it is have been done. And something that we can do is fixing it in the future. But the possibility for doing it cannot be 100%. So faith is something is conducted 100%, executed in the written in the whole of our life. That is a faith. But the possibility for doing it in the future cannot be 100% because the possibility of dying, yeah, maybe in this night could be calculated in our measurement for doing it too. So because of that, this faith is any kinds of the God knowledge that what controlling us maybe seems like that 100% conducted. But destiny is the whole of the possibility that could be happen, including uh, you want to do it or not, including I am a female in the beginning of my life is not by God too. That is destiny in my opinion. That is what my belief maybe. Maybe you have the other opinion, and yeah, anyone can have their own experience. They born in their own environment and they have their own ideology. That is my argumentation, and thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Andres. Your explanation is totally clear, and I can get what you explained. Okay, for the next, we go to Mr. Izul.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, the differences between fate and destiny. I believe that fate is something that comes from our God, so we cannot change it. Even we have a great struggle to change it, even we were really serious, want to change it, but we cannot change it. That is the fate. But the destiny, something that we can change it. We can change it. We can have a greater struggle to change our destiny. For the example, like the fate, yeah, the fate. The example of the fate is after getting married, maybe we really need to, we really want to have a child in our life with our wife, but our God uh, uh, doesn't give a child as soon as possible like we want. So even we do great struggle, even we always pray and struggle in to get that child, we cannot get it. We just wait the apa tadi bahasa Inggrisnya, the anugrah, ya anugrah, but the bond of God. But if we, but the example of the destiny is like homeless, yeah, homeless. So if homeless uh, want to get money, want to buy the house, they can do that. They can change the destiny of their life. So they maybe can do great effort. They can seek a job in the other place, so they can get new house maybe in their life. They can change their life better in this world. So that is the differences between destiny and fate, in my opinion. Thank you so much.
Okay, Miss Zulfiqar. I'm really sorry, but would you mind if you re-explain about fate? Because last time I hear that your explanations is equal. I mean, like your explanation about destiny and fate is equal. Okay, would you mind if you re-explain about fate itself, Mr. Zulfiqar?
Pardon.
What last time you have explained that about fate and destiny, but last time I hear your explanation about destiny and fate is equal, is almost equal. I haven't get your point, your explanations about fate itself. So would you mind if you re-explain about fate?
Okay, no, I don't say it equal. Yeah, that is really different.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't blame you that you say destiny and fate is equal. No, but what I get from your explanation last time, yeah, that's almost equal. That's why I please you to re-explain about fate. Just fate. You don't have to explain about destiny.
Yeah, the main point what I want to say of the faith is something that comes from God, comes from God. So we cannot change it. Something that comes from God, so we cannot change it. We do better, even we do great effort to change it, we still cannot change it. But destiny, we can change it. Yeah, we just do something better, so we can change our life to be better. Yeah, like apa namanya? Yes, like that, Mr. Dandi.
Oh, okay, Mr. Izal, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You said that faith that is something that God has given to us, and
Yeah.
we as human being, we cannot change it at all.
Yeah.
So if you believe that death death is it a fate or not?
or is it? What does is it mean?
I mean, like, do you believe that that is a part of faith or not?
That is I
That,
don't
that
I'm not.
ke kematian. Do you believe that?
Oh, that, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that is,
is
that is a faith from our God. So even we run away from our God, we still cannot change it. We will that as soon as possible. That is the faith, the real example of faith in our life. Yeah, I agree about that. The that is a faith. Yeah,
that
Mr.
so
Dandi.
that is faith.
Yeah, even we run away from our God, we still our God will find us as soon as possible. Yeah, we cannot run away from our God. Yeah, that is the real example of faith, I think.
So I have one question more for you.
all right, please.
This is the last one. This is the last one. We cannot run from God, especially about that. That will happen to the quick or the living things. But do you agree if we can extend our age?
I disagree. We cannot extend our age. Yeah. We have every single of us has our own age. Yeah. So we cannot extend it even we have a great struggle. So if the time of the death has come, we will death as soon as possible. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, like that.
Nice. Okay, thank you so much, Sister Rizal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Rizal. Okay, for the next, maybe anyone, Mami Malona, you never answer for our questions.
Yeah, this is my
Maybe
first to join in your Zoom, your room. This is my first time join in your room.
Oh yeah.
I want to answer your question. The conclusion. What's the difference between? Yeah. Okay. What is the difference between destiny and fate? Actually, I don't really understand about this. So I'll try to search in Google. So I found the answer. I want to read this.
Okay. I please.
Okay, fate is often conceived as being divinely inspired. Fate is about the present, where every decision an individual has made has led them to their present scenario. However, destiny is the future scenario, which cannot be determined by decision an individual will make. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Ma. How should what should I call you?
Malona is
Mami
Malona.
Malona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you. For the next, Mr. GNR and Miss or Mr. Santower. Last time I saw that you have just joined in our meeting tonight. So I please you to answer this question. What's the difference between destiny and fate? For Mr. GNR and Miss or Mr. Santower. Hello, Mr. GNR, are you there? Miss or Mr. Santower? Are you there? Hello?
I think he is still driving because we have in some group, and he said that he's still driving.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, for Mr. GNR, is still thriving. So how about Miss Sunflower? Miss or Mr. Sunflower? Do you have your own answer or opinion about this one? About this question? Miss or Mr. Sunflower? Hello, Mr. or Miss Sunflower? What should I call you? Hello, Miss Sunflower. Okay, if you maybe he has bad connection maybe, so he can't answer our question tonight. So for the others, maybe you have your additional opinion. For the others, Mr. Sunshine, Miss Gusti, Miss Rasni, Mr. Kudori. Okay, for Miss Gusti, I proceed.
Thank you so much. It's actually difficult to, like to put the differences between the destiny or fate, but I suppose both of them has the like same meaning, like both of the destiny and fate is beyond the human power, but there is the difference is probably from the human stigma or a human perspective. Like like I take it back the definition. Destiny is probably something people probably like suppose that they could change everything, but actually not. Like your example before, it's all about LGBT. Probably people could change their own body, but it's actually not for sure. And then the fate, everybody agree that what got scenario about that, we couldn't run for it. So it's the difference is from the human perspective that human really believe on that definition. Do you get my point?
Yeah. I can.
Okay. Yeah, that's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss. Thank you very much for Miss Gusti. I think Miss Gusti is the last person who answer these questions. And because time is running out, I will give this opportunity to our host tonight, Mr. Kudori. So before I give this opportunity to Mr. Kudori, we go to another slide. There is a quote from one of politic or like role model. That is marrying is this quote from Sujiwo Tejo. Maybe do you anyone knows about him? Marrying is a fate. Loving is destiny. You can plan on marrying or home, but you cannot plan your love for home. I will say it in Indonesia, in bahasa. Menikah itu nasib, mencintai itu takdir. Kamu bisa merencanakan menikah dengan siapa, tapi kamu tidak bisa merencanakan cintamu untuk siapa. Okay, for the last slide, yeah, I think this is enough for our discussion tonight. Thank you very much. I apologize for all mistakes that I made intentionally or unintentionally. Thank you very much, guys. I will give this opportunity to our host tonight, Mr. Go. I appreciate.
Yeah, right. Thank you for leading, for chairing this tremendous discussion. Even all of you are improvement, all of you are, let's say, getting progress better than previous. Could I share a screen? Okay. Yeah, I found several how to say it. Let's say destiny and fate. Yeah, not fat. In fact, it's how to say, mispronunciation. Destiny means takdir. Fate means nasib, not fat. Yeah, if fat means gemuk atau ya fat. Your body is fat. Badanmu gemuk. Not fate. Convert itu mu'alaf. Convert last time Miss Tania said about it. Desire or willingness, kemauan. And also not their self, but themselves. When we learn about reflexive pronouns in grammatical, themselves, not their selves. There is no their selves, but themselves. And then emerge, Mr. Andres said, emerge. Not effort, yeah. Not effort, but effort, or without our effort, not effort, usaha. And also we found it can change without s, can change, not can change. I found from someone who said can change, or we can use another way to say be able to change, not change without additional s. Hund or endowment, anugerah. And then this one, what does is it mean? It is double auxiliary ya. Because mean is verb, artinya adalah maksud. It means that what does it mean? Apa maksudnya? What does it mean? Not what does is it mean? Jadi double auxiliary. Death, yeah, not dead. So it is the so death, yeah, death, not death. Death. Right. Okay, later I will send this on our group. And then before we end our discussion, we do documentation. I wish you all of you to open handsome and beautiful face to do documentation. Mr. GNR, Mr. Zulfikar, Miss Kusti, thank you. Mr. Imam Marifuddin, Mr. Sunshine, Miss Malona, Miss or Mr. Sunflower. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Imam, GNR, Mr. Sunflower, Malona, Miss Mami. Yeah, could you open your camera? Hello.
Yes, you open your camera.
Oh, coming in here. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, just open your camera.
Mr. Ku.
Yeah.
Actually, Mami Malona wants to join our discussion tonight next week. Maybe you can guide yeah, next week.
Okay.
I mean, like she wants to join our discussion.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
How could I join with?
Yeah, wait, just contact me later. I send my number, Miss Mami, Miss Malona, Miss Mami, how to call your name? Okay,
Yeah, we'll have your number. Thank you.
yeah, right. Okay, let me count until 3. One style. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right. Again, change style. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. What is the meaning of 3? Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1. GNR. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right. Thank you very much. So before I close this discussion, because we have Yel, When I say Otak community, all of you answer yesterday, you say tomorrow. Otak community?
Yesterday we say
They say
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
All right,
Tomorrow.
thank you very much. See you next week with the how to say
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you so much,
everyone.
discussion.
sir, for this
Thank you very
discussion.
much. See you when I see you again. Thank you.
Okay.